So, a very good evening and a warm welcome to all the attendees of ASME eFest Careers 2020. I'm Tanya Rodrigues from the ASME India Programs team, and I'm overjoyed to welcome you all to today's session. Today, we are very excited to have with us Ms. Neha Agarwal from Wise Up Communications. Neha will be presenting the session on soft skills, the new hard skills to master, with a focus for Indian students. Neha is the founder of Wise Up Communications. She holds a gold medal from RVCE Bangalore and a master's degree from NTU Singapore. She has worked as a materials engineer at ExxonMobil in Singapore. Her experience as a communication coach to NTU students, coupled with her passion for scientific research, led her to start Wise Up, a venture to help students and young professionals like you to improve your research and career-related communication skills. Since its inception this year, Wise Up has already coached over 2,500 students from top 50 institutes in India. In this session, Neha will share actionable items that can be taken to improve one's soft skills for career development and to stand out amongst your peers. And with this information, I welcome you, Neha, to this session.
Thank you so much for such a warm welcome. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the session, Soft Skills, the New Hard Skills to Master. I am Neha Agrawal, an academic communication expert and founder of Wise Communications, and I'm honored to be here to share insights with you on this topic. So before we begin, let me share something about myself, which actually led me to finding Wise Up Communications and also why I actually decided to switch my career to communication skills. So, as Tanya mentioned, when I was studying at NTU Singapore, I got this opportunity to coach over 130 students from 15 different countries in improving their written and oral communication skills. And that's when I realized that this barrier of good communication skills also existed back at home. Even when I was working at ExxonMobil, I realized that communication skills played such an important role there as well, whether it was meeting discussions, knowledge sharing sessions, or technical presentations. Communication skills were a way to show your technical expertise in a subject. And if you couldn't communicate well, people often thought that you did not have enough technical expertise. So that's when I decided to come back to India and start Wise Up Communications so I can help students in improving their communication skills so they too can have very successful and meaningful careers. Soft skills nowadays are one of the most important priority and requirement for the recruiters today. So without further delay, let's see the agenda that we have for today. The first thing that we're going to do is test your understanding because I want to see how much do you already know about soft skills. After that, I will share with you why are soft skills important and what are some of the steps that you can take to improve them. I will also share with you some resources, online resources that you can fall back on for help later on. And lastly, it's going to be time for you to ask all your questions and clear your doubts. So let's see the first thing that we have on our agenda, which is testing your understanding. So guys, I want this to be a very interactive session. It does not have to be a one-sided lecture. So I'm going to ask you questions and I would appreciate if you could leave your responses in the Q&A box, okay? So the first question that I have here is what are soft skills? And I'm going to share with you some options and you need to tell me whether it's true or false, all right? So the first option is soft skills are extra skills like MS Excel and PowerPoint. So what do you think? Is this true or is this false? Can I have some responses? Okay, false. Okay, I'm receiving a lot of false answers. Yes, you are absolutely right. It's false. Soft skills are not extra skills like MS Excel or PowerPoint because these are actually hard skills. Thank you. Option number 2, soft skills are only communication skills. True or false, guys? Soft skills are only communication skills. Yes, I think you all are already very good at this. Correct. Yes, you're right. Soft skills are not only communication skills, and there are so many other aspects or other skills that fall into this category of soft skills. Yes, thank you. And the last option is soft skills are personality traits useful in your career. So true or false? Is this true or is this false? Yes, that's right. Thank you so much, guys. Yes, I think you already know what soft skills are. So that's a good start that we have. So soft skills are personality traits which are useful in your career. That is the definition, you can say, a broad definition of soft skills. So now that you know what soft skills means and what it is, could you tell me what are some examples of soft skills? Can I have some examples that you know? I think I shared one of them already in the last slide. What else? What other skills fall under soft skills? Yes, I'm looking for answers. Listening skills, very good. Communication skills, thank you. Includes verbal and non-verbal skills, yes. Teamwork skills, wonderful, yes, that's correct. Ethics, okay. Being presenting, resilience, okay. Leadership skills, thank you, that's right. Yes, you all are correct. So let me share with you some examples of soft skills. So the first is communication skills, leadership skills, problem-solving skills, networking skills, adaptability, teamwork skills, initiative-taking ability, time management skills, and last but not the least, interpersonal skills. So these are some examples or common examples of soft skills, and what are all these skills that actually fall under this category. So now that you know what are soft skills and what are some examples of soft skills, it's my very honest question to you. Do you actively work towards improving your soft skills? And the options are yes or no. So please answer as honestly as possible. It'll actually help me understand how well I have to explain how you can further improve your soft skills. So be as honest as possible. Okay, a lot of people are saying yes, and a lot of people are also being honest and telling me no. So I really appreciate that. Okay, so I do have like mixed responses. Yes, but often fail to stay on course. Okay, probably I will help you stay on course with the tips that I provide today. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your honest opinion. And now let's move on to the next thing that we have on our agenda, which is importance of soft skills. So now I'm going to share with you why are soft skills even important. So the first reason is soft skills are useful to communicate your hard skills. Nowadays, I come across a lot of students who are really good at the technical skills. They have done a lot of internships. But when it comes to telling that what have they learned in terms of technical skills, or what are some of the responsibilities that they took in their internship, that's when they are not able to convey that information. And if you think from a hiring manager, a recruiter's perspective, if I'm meeting you for the first time, and if you're not able to tell me what you have done, then I will think that you probably don't know anything. Or I might think that you look good on paper, but when it comes to conveying information or interacting, that's where you fall short. And therefore, you will not be a good fit for the company, or you will not be able to perform well in the company. So if you have good communication skills, good interpersonal skills, then you will be able to convey your experiences well, explain or talk about your hard skills, your technical skills, and convince the hiring manager that you are a good candidate for that role. The second reason is it helps you to fit and contribute to an organization. So let me share a personal example with you. When I was working at ExxonMobil, even though I am a chemical engineer, I was given a mechanical engineering role there. And it was very difficult for me to learn all the mechanical engineering concepts from scratch. And in fact, at the time, I was working on a project which involved fire water sprinkler systems for a hydrocarbon tank. So let me give you a basic understanding what they do. So because the tank is storing hydrocarbon, it can catch fire and then it can lead to an explosion. So the fire water sprinkler systems are installed to ensure that that explosion situation does not occur. So from the global headquarters, we actually received information that all the sites need to upgrade their fire water sprinkler systems. So when I was going through the existing fire water sprinkler system report, I saw that it was already up to date and it was already working perfectly. So I went to my supervisor and I told him that since it's already working perfectly, I don't think there's any requirement to upgrade it. But my supervisor told me that, see, this is a decision that comes from the global headquarters. So no matter what it is, we still need to upgrade it. But I was not very happy with his decision. So I prepared the presentation deck. I sent a meeting invite to the global headquarters specialist, and I explained it to him as to why the sprinkler system was already in perfect condition and did not need any upgrade. So the specialist was actually very happy with my presentation and the points that I had put across, and he decided to drop the upgrade. And this actually led the Singapore site save $250,000. And I was also given a profitability recognition award later. And it was not because I had a lot of knowledge or technical aspect. I knew a lot of technical aspects about fire water sprinkler systems. It's just because of my persuasion skills and my ability to put across my argument that actually led him to drop the upgrade, which saved the site $250,000. So what I'm trying to tell you here is soft skills do play a very important role in your career to fit and contribute to an organization. The third point is the soft skills help you to reach higher milestones in your career. So if you're planning to grow in your company, having only technical skills is not enough. Because when you are growing and when you are taking positions, senior positions in the company, it is going to be either leadership positions or managerial positions, and then the focus on technical aspects reduces. Because here you need to show your leadership skills, you need to show your problem solving ability, initiative taking ability, and communication skills. Because now you will be managing a team, and you will at the same time, you will also have to interact or coordinate with the senior leadership. So how you solve problems for your team, how you communicate their views to the senior leadership, and how you take initiatives for the betterment of your team is what comes in the forefront rather than your technical skills. So to grow in your organization, you need to inculcate these skills right from the very beginning of your career to be able to reach higher milestones. And lastly, soft skills help you in standing out from the crowd. So as we discussed, if you have good soft skills that help you communicate well in the interviews, help you contribute to the organization, fit in the organization, and also reach higher milestones in your career, you will realize that it's helping you differentiate yourself from the crowd and the people you actually started off your career with. So soft skills are really now the new hard skills to master, and let's see how you can further improve them. So the next topic that we have here is steps to improve your soft skills. So today we're going to discuss about 4 different soft skills and how you can further improve them and work towards better improving our skills. So the first one is communication skills, networking skills, initiative taking ability, and last would be leadership skills. So now let's talk about communication skills. So I know most of us, when we are in college, we are either very busy with our college assignments, talking to our friends on Instagram, or binge watching Netflix, that you obviously have no time left to work on your communication. So I'm going to share with you some actionable steps that you can take doing all the things that I just told you. So let me share some of them with you. So the first is initiate conversations with your peers outside your social circle. So whenever you have a guest lecture or a seminar in college, how often do you talk to people who are seated to your left or to your right? Probably never, right? I know I never did it. In fact, when I was in college, I had a very small circle of friends, and I never even bothered to speak to people outside it. And that's a mistake that I regretted later. So if you're in college, do try and initiate conversations with the people around you. It will not only help you understand how to greet someone, how to break the ice, but it will also help you build a network connection that can come useful to you in the future. Join public speaking groups, drama clubs, or participate in competitions like debates, MUNs. Joining a public speaking club or participating in debating competitions will help you in improving your speaking skills, get over your stage fright, and also boost your confidence. And in this process, when you're a part of a club and part of a competition, you will also meet new people and make new friends. Fourth point, build peer-to-peer tutor relationships. So if you have a college assignment, then what you can do, if you have to write a college assignment, catch hold of a friend and ask them to review your assignment for you while you do the same for them. And by that, I don't mean all the technical things that you've written, but you need to evaluate their assignment based on their language and grammatical mistakes. And when you do that, when you're actually reviewing the assignment like this, you're training your brain to think critically, which will help in improving your writing skills. And obviously, when your friend sends feedback with all the mistakes that you have done in your paper, you will also be able to note them and also work upon them to improve it. So it's a win-win situation, actually. Next would be read books, articles, newspapers on a daily basis. Make it a habit to take out at least 30 minutes of your time to read something. And by that, I definitely don't mean Facebook or Instagram posts, okay? So either read an online article, read a storybook, or just the newspaper. Not only will it help you in improving your communication skills, but the general knowledge will help you in your interviews and in your group discussions later. Point number 6. This is my favorite one actually. Pay attention to subtitles while watching TV shows. So I know, like all of us millennials, we are hooked to watching TV shows nowadays, right? And I'm sure you feel like a tinge of guilt when you spend way more time than you plan to. So now you can utilize that time to improve your communication skills. Carefully watch the TV show subtitles while listening to the audio of the show. When you do that, not only will you understand important parts of speech like voice modulation, pace of speaking, how and when to take pauses, but by reading the subtitles, you will also improve your grammar without actually noticing it. So do try this technique out, okay? Point number 7, work on your resume, cover letter, and email writing skills. These are things that we usually put off till the end, until we have to go for an interview or until we are looking for an internship. Please don't do that. Spend some time in building a quality resume, quality cover letter, and practice some email writing skills, because this is like your doorway to a new career. So do spend some time to improve these and perfect these documents. And lastly, as I said, don't leave everything for the last moment. If you have like an interview coming up next week, and you think that, okay, now I want to improve my communication skills, then definitely these tips are not helping you. So you need to make a conscious habit, a conscious effort to practice them every day. Okay. So please do that. Please try and adopt these techniques into your daily life, and then you will see the improvement in communication skills happening. So this is all about communication skills. And now moving to the next one, which is networking skills. So networking is nowadays, as we all know, is very important to if you're looking for a job or if you're planning to switch your career. So you should not miss out any opportunity to network with people. So whom can you actually network with? You can network with people around you, that is your peers, teachers, guest speakers, students from other colleges when they come for fests, guest speakers. You're attending so many webinars, so many seminars nowadays. How many times have you actually sent out an email or reached out to that person to know more about what they do, right? So take this time out and, build a network with them. You can also network with people on LinkedIn. You can get in touch with your alumni, leaders, right? So leaders of the industry, people from the industry where you actually wish to work in the future. You can send them connection requests and you can network with them, speak to them and learn what they do. You can also network with people or causes that you care about, okay? So now one very important tip whenever you're networking or building your network connections. You have to understand that it can't happen in a day. Okay, so you have to be there in order to build your network connections. You have to be there for the long haul. All right. So the idea is network to learn something from them and not to gain something in return. When do we actually start networking? When we're either looking for an internship and we're looking for a job, or we've already got an interview and now we need somebody who can tell us what happens in the company. That's when we send all these, connection requests because we want something from them and that's all we care about. If you do that, the chances of you receiving a response would be very less. But if you start networking it with people right from your first year, getting in touch with them to learn more about what they do, that is a way to network and build that relationship and build that connection. So if you do that, later on when you need help, these are the people who are going to be there for you. So do network to learn something from them and not to gain something in return. And lastly, make use of your communication skills to build that connection. I did say that you need to work on your email writing skills so you can build your network connection by sending emails to people or by, just writing a nice message on LinkedIn. And most of the time, even when you're writing a LinkedIn message, I notice most of the time people talk about themselves. That, see, this is what I'm doing. This is what I plan to do. And so please accept my connection request because this is what I want from you. Right? Please don't do that. You have to respect the other person for taking out the time to help you out. Tell them that you really like what they are doing and that's why you would like to learn more about them. So that should be a way. Sorry guys, 1 second. So that should actually be a way how you network with people, okay, rather than demanding something in return. All right. So guys, this was about networking skills. And now moving to the next point, which is initiative-taking ability. So this is very important, okay? And let me now share with you some actionable steps that you can take to improve your initiative-taking ability. So the first one is, every crisis is an opportunity to take initiative and display your leadership qualities. So when we are in college, we are always cribbing, right? The syllabus is not nice, the teachers are not nice, the facilities are not good. But what you have to understand that all these problems in your college, in your life, is an opportunity for you to take initiative and do something about them rather than just cribbing or rather than just complaining about them. Yes, this is also a way how you can show your leadership qualities. Take ownership of responsibilities in your internship rather than only doing what is told. So this is also something that I've seen with the current generation of students nowadays, that everybody is looking for an internship, right? But the moment you join an internship, you actually don't care about the internship too much. Please don't be offended if some people are really serious about the internship, I'm sorry. But once the people join the internship, they're either, there for the brand value or they are there because they're going to get a certificate at the end or probably a stipend. And they don't care much about what's happening in the company and, what's exactly the company doing. So many times when I ask students that, okay, this is the responsibility. This is the responsibility that you have been given. Can you tell me why did they give you this thing to solve? They're like, I don't know. They just gave me this to solve, so I'm solving it. See, that is not the way, right? And I know most of the students nowadays are a part of startup companies. So take ownership of responsibilities, get in touch with the people who hired you and tell them and ask them, how can you add more value to the company? What else can you do to learn? And I'm sure everybody would appreciate it, no matter which company you are in, either it's a startup company or a big organization. If you show that, yes, you're willing to take more responsibilities than what you have already, they will really appreciate you. And this is a way of showing that, yes, you're somebody who takes initiatives in their career. Next would be, holding a leadership title in college or society is not enough. Take actions to improve it further and help your community. Again, something that I've seen most of the time. All the resumes of the students that I have are filled with leadership positions. And when I ask them, okay, what did you do in this leadership position? I don't receive a proper answer for them, because it's just like a titular position that they're holding, that they have that title, but they are not contributing much to the organization. So you have to realize, guys, that these are all opportunities for you to take initiatives. I'm sure no club or society that you join is perfect, and there's so much more that can be done to help the students. So take actions to improve that society further, contribute to it, and help your student community. Next is take initiative and volunteer for causes you care about. It will also help you network and improve your communication skills. So, as human beings, actually, we all need to give back to the society, and it can be anything. You can be a person who cares about sustainability, cares about waste, or you can just help a small child, a small kid, probably a helper's son or a helper's daughter, to learn English, to teach them something. So this is a way how you can contribute to the community, and it will in turn also help in improving your communication skills. And lastly, take initiative for your own career and groom yourself for your dream company or university. Please don't sit around till the end of third year or probably the first semester, second semester of your final year to decide what you want to do in your career. Please take initiative for your own career. Decide what you want to do from the very beginning, because then you have a lot of time. You can read information, you can actually network with people to find more about things that you would actually like to take up in your career, and then make a decision as to what you want to do. Usually what happens is that the people, when they're almost in their final year and they're making a decision, they don't have a lot of time to decide actually what they would like to do. So whatever everybody's doing in class, either go for a master's abroad or just get a job. That's where people fall in either of these categories. So take some time out, especially from the beginning of your career, to decide where you would like to take your career forward. Okay. So these are a few steps that you can take to improve your initiative taking ability. And now, quickly wrapping up, okay, the last one would be leadership skills. So number one, as I said, take more responsibilities either at home, in your college, for societies, clubs, anything that you are a part of. This is a great way to show your leadership skills. Learn how to delegate tasks and motivate others. Sometimes when we are in a project or we are in a group and the rest of the members of the group are not working, some people usually take it upon themselves. I know I was like this, that to do everybody's work because I need perfection. But that's not showing leadership skills. To show your leadership skills, you should learn how to delegate tasks, motivate others, inspire others, set clear deadlines, set clear expectations from them so that you can make them work as a team, work as a group to get the job done. Raise your voice if something is not right. Nowadays, most of the people, nobody likes conflict. Everybody likes to be, part of the group. I'm not going to raise my voice if anything wrong is happening. That is not a way to show your leadership skills. If there's something wrong happening, if there's a decision that is being taken that you think is either not right or there can be something better that can be done about it, raise your voice and do something about that. Not only are you taking an initiative, but you are also displaying your leadership skills. Next would be show your leadership skills in a group discussion. So whenever you're in a group discussion, what happens? People usually speak over each other and they don't let anybody else speak. That is not a way to show your leadership skills, right? So you can show your leadership skills in a group discussion by either setting a clear expectation from the group. Sometimes in a group discussion, people also go off topic. So you can give the group discussion a right direction. And sometimes there are people who don't even get a chance to speak. So if you inspire them to speak, that is a way how you're showing your leadership ability and leadership skills. And lastly, build your leadership skills through communication, networking, and taking initiatives. So if you do all the things that we just discussed about, which is improving your communication skills, networking with people, and taking initiatives, these are all different ways how you can also build your leadership skills, because all these soft skills, they are all interconnected. If you're working on one, you're definitely working on the other as well. So guys, these are the 4 topics that I wanted to cover today as to how you can improve your soft skills. And now guide to some useful resources that you can fall back on for help. So the first one, if you want to improve your spoken English or grammar, these are two channels on YouTube that I found them to be very useful. One is Urban Fight and another is Check Chat. Take a screenshot of this slide and maybe check them out later. Okay, these are very useful and they share information in a very nice way, touching upon the basics and also taking it to the advanced portions. So do check this out. Learning a new language. So I've recently started learning French and I found these apps to be very useful. So if you want to learn a new language, go to either Duolingo, I'm sure a lot of you already know about this, or Rosetta Stone. I think Rosetta Stone is like a paid one, but you can still check it out. It's pretty good. And if you want to improve your communication skills, I do conduct research and career related workshops at Wise Up. So how can you improve your research writing skills, presentation skills, if you need help with improving your resume, cover letter, interviewing skills, GD skills, you can also visit my website and see the workshops that we offer there. And yes, now it's time for some questions. And before we get there, I would like to thank all of you for being a part of this session. Go master your soft skills. And if you found any of these tips useful and if you apply that in your daily life, I would feel that my job here is done. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you for attending this session. And now we can look at some questions.
So thank you so much, Neha, for this wonderfully conducted and truly informative session. I'm sure that each of our attendees here has definitely benefited a lot and has something or the other to take away. Um, Attendees, please note that you can type your questions in the Q&A box. Please do not type them in the chat box and type them in the Q&A box, and we will be taking them up now. So beginning with the Q&A session, our first question is, ma'am, can you please explain about dealing with crucial situations related to soft skills, such as, I guess he is explaining, such as conflict resolvement.
Okay, all right. So taking one simple example, say if you're in a group project, right? And if somebody wants to go in a different path and you want to go in a different path, rather than fighting about it or, arguing about it, what you can actually do is put your points across, share your points with the team and what you think and why you want to go in that direction, and let everybody do the same. That is a good way of showing your leadership skills and at the same time resolving a conflict in a very civilized manner rather than, creating a chaos or, fighting over it. So I think this is a basic example of what I understood from this question. If you have like a more specific question, probably I can help answer that as well.
Okay, so the attendee can type in any specific query that you have. And thank you so much for that, Neha. Moving on to the next question. Given the current circumstances and situations that we are in of this pandemic, what do you foresee? How do you foresee the role of soft skills take place and shape the hiring of companies and so on?
Okay, so even before the pandemic, the soft skills were playing an important role for the companies. But now, after the pandemic, with most of the work shifting from home, right, the requirement of soft skills has completely changed. So how it is still important, but what they are looking for, the dynamics have changed a little bit. So now you should be somebody who is able to communicate your ideas very well, because you can't do it in person anymore. And you need to ensure that even though you're doing either through a phone call or a video call, you're quite explicit about what you are speaking. Because I have seen that in this work from home situation, a lot of miscommunication happens. So that's where you need to be very clear about your ideas or your projects that you are handling and your responsibilities as well. So that's about communication skills. Again, if you need to take initiatives or if you need to, solve any problem as a team, again, you're not there physically, right, to discuss these ideas with your team. So you need to call up a meeting, take initiative, bring everybody together and tell them that, see, this is the problem that's happening and we need to come up with a solution. So it mainly lies more about the communication skills and how you are able to interact with the people, even through all this, how should I put it? Like, from a distance, so either through phone or either through video chats. And when it comes to recruitment, again, it's all shifted now online, right? So the interviews are happening online. The group discussions that they take are also now happening online. You have to submit your resumes, cover letters, everything via email. There are no physical copies that you need to send anymore. So what you can do to improve your skills is practice some video interviews, right? Because now they're looking for a different set of skills. Like, tell you a very basic thing. You can't do a physical handshake anymore in an interview, right? So how do you build that connection with your interviewer? You need to do it through eye contact. And by eye contact, I mean looking at the camera and actually not looking at the person in the screen, because that's when you're not making an eye contact. When you look at the camera, that's how you're making eye contact with the person in front of you. Greet them and, just say that, good morning, sir. I'm so glad to be here for this interview. Because earlier, all this work would have been done by a simple handshake. So this is how you are changing your soft skills, modifying them so that you can fit in the present scenario.
Okay, thank you for that. And also the next question is it enough to just have soft skills? You demonstrated an example wherein you had a situation at work and you handled it with your presentation skills. So some students may also think that, okay, if I just have soft skills, is it enough for me to survive?
Oh,
What are the
absolutely not.
complementary skills? Yeah.
So they have to go hand in hand, right? So you do need to have your technical skills, your hard skills in place. But in order to show that you have those technical skills, that's where the soft skills come into picture. Because you can be a technical expert or you can have like so much knowledge about a particular technical subject. But if you're not able to explain it to people or you're not able to share that information, that's where you fall short. And that's where people don't know whether how much knowledge do you really have. So obviously one doesn't go without the other. And I was just lucky that with my basic knowledge of mechanical engineering, I was able to get that project through, but obviously it doesn't work all the time. So yeah.
Okay, great. So I think that, yeah, carrying on. So not just with soft skills, but I believe hard skills are important as well.
Absolutely.
But to be able to convey those, you need soft skills. So
Yeah.
my next question is leading up to that. We have a lot of students who, when they graduate, they are unemployable, and this and a major chunk of students who fall under this category, the reason it happens is because they lack communication skills or skills. How do you propose they can improve on that and face interviews to get hired in companies in a better way?
Right. So it's about communication skills for interviews and getting hired, right, Tanya, if I understood your question correctly?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So as I said earlier in my presentation as well, you need to work on your communication skills from day one. Just when you start college or probably when you're in your second year, you need to actively work towards it. As I said, if your interview is approaching and then you think that you want to improve your communication skills and suddenly your English should become better, it doesn't work that way. So you need to make a conscious effort at it. So I'd also shared some apps with you. So for spoken English and grammar, if you want to improve that, two apps that I have seen are two YouTube channels that I've seen are very good. Number one, Chet Chat, and another is Urban Fight. So try those out. And at the same time, join clubs. I would say join a drama club or join a public speaking club like Toastmasters, because the environment there is very nice. It's very conducive for you to learn a language, overcome your stage fright, know how to communicate. So these things will actually help you later on when you go to your interview. And obviously, when you're going in an interview as well, you need to prepare from beforehand. It can't be an impromptu session with a person, right? So you need to prepare possible questions. You need to prepare behavioral questions before you go to an interview. And yes, then when you're ready with your communication skills, it's really going to help you out.
Okay, so we have a question related to this in the interview. How can non-verbal skills be used in a presentation or interview effectively?
Okay, so non-verbal skills could be your body language, right? So it includes eye contact, it includes your posture, it includes your hand gestures. All these are non-verbal skills, and they again play an important role, as you said, in an interview and in a presentation as well. So making eye contact, as I told you, in such a situation is when you look at the camera rather than looking at the person in the screen. So that's how you make eye contact. If you are in a large hall and you are presenting to an audience of about 100 to 150, what we usually do when we are nervous is we either look behind somebody or we just look at one person and give the entire presentation. You can't do that. In order to make eye contact with the person, you need to have like a sweeping gaze across the audience. So you speak the first two, three lines, probably looking at this part of the audience. Then you speak by, looking at the center part of the audience and then speaking few lines. And then you do that again by looking at the people on the right. That's how you make eye contact with the people. As you notice, in my entire presentation, I've been using hand gestures as well. So when you use hand gestures, it also enhances and creates a better impact when you're presenting. So there are a lot of hand gestures that you can incorporate in your presentations as well. Because we have a very short time, I can't share more information with you. But there are a lot of YouTube videos on it that you can actually watch and learn more about it. And yeah, probably in another session, I can share more information about this as well.
Sure. So we have another question here. How to network if I dread starting conversations in general, unless needed? So the person is saying, I tried working on my self-confidence too, but still I find it a bit difficult to connect with people. How should I go about with this hesitation?
Okay, so I think the best suggestion that I would like to give you for this is fake it till you make it, right? So I know initially the first three conversations that you make are going to be difficult and you will not know what to do. But you need to constantly push yourself to do it. And after few conversations, it will become second nature to you and you will be able to initiate conversations in a very seamless manner. So I think this is the response that I would like to give to this, that even though you're afraid, just push yourself a little bit more and do it once or twice, and then you will get a hang of it. I just started making YouTube videos, and for me, it was very difficult to actually look at the camera and shoot the entire video. And I had to delete it so many times, two times, three times, because I was not getting it right. And again, just have to practice and you just have to get there, get out there and do it. That's the only way to perfect these things.
Okay, so we have the next question here. Can you throw some light on remote working as an emerging soft skill?
Remote working as an emerging soft skill. I am not sure if that's actually a soft skill, but as I said, for remote working, there are so many other skills that are coming into picture, right? And one of the most important ones are your communication skills, because all the communication is now happening online. So you need to really work on it so that you are able to put your ideas across in a proper, in a proper way. Yeah.
Okay, and we'll take one last question. Please share some tips which one should keep in mind while pitching a presentation.
Okay, so when you're pitching a presentation, I think number one, obviously, you need to work on your slides and you can't have a lot of information on your slides. Okay, so it just needs to have basic bullet points. So that is number one. Have a good presentation in place because that will obviously give you more confidence as well. And now, if you're presenting in the current scenario, like if you're doing like a virtual presentation, do look at the camera of your laptop to make eye contact. Okay. And what I do personally is there is this small screen that appears on all these softwares nowadays where you can actually see yourself. So if you want to build a little bit more confidence, you can actually drag that screen and put it just below your camera. So if you do that, you can actually look at yourself and give the entire presentation, and people will think that you're actually making eye contact with them. And because you're looking at yourself, you will also not feel nervous. Right now, that's what I'm actually doing. I'm actually just looking at myself and talking to you. So try this thing. I think it will really help you in pitching your presentations more confidently.
Yeah, thank you. So I believe this answers the query, and we have reached to an end of this webinar. So thank you so much for this wonderful and really informative session with great practical tips that students can incorporate into their day-to-day studies, their day-to-day lives, and become better engineers with great soft skills. So thank you so much,
Absolutely.
Neha Agarwal, for joining us at eFest Careers 2020. And dear attendees, thank you so much for coming in. We wish you a great time ahead. Please stay tuned onto the platform, and we have more exciting sessions coming up. Thank you,
Thank you
everyone.
so much. Thank you so much, Tanya, for taking this time out and also inviting me for this session. It was a pleasure interacting with all the students as well. So thank you so much for taking the time out and listening to me. And I hope the presentation was useful to you. So thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you. It was our honor to have you.
Yeah. Bye-bye.